For decades, the Konoha village preached the will of fire. But behind that slogan was a secret experiment that shaped every Hokage. This is a story of Project Genesis, a theory that could explain why the Senju, Uzumaki, and even the Uchiha bloodlines end up under the same roof. So, Hashirama and Tobirama weren't just visionaries, they were scientists chasing god level chakra. Then, when they learned that Hashirama's cells could heal anything, that's when the idea came to Tobirama. A much darker question: could they also create life? Thus began Project Genesis. After Tobirama's death, his research didn't vanish, it was continued in secret. White hair prodigies like Jiraiya or Sakamo Hatake kind of fit the profile, if you think about it. There is no evidence who Jiraiya's parents are, who Sakamo's parents are, and there's no evidence that Tobirama has any kids. But there is some striking similarities between the three. So anyways, that's where this idea came from. Each one of them had impossible chakra reserves and genius instincts. Maybe they weren't born gifted, maybe they were just manufactured. And then if you think about Dan, the way that his skills are quite similar to the Yamanaka clan, I'm assuming that, my guess is that they're slightly related. And maybe that his clan is a branch of the Yamanaka clan. Masters of spiritual projection. Then they got banished to the outskirts. They became prime material for Konoha's human weapon program. One survivor, Dan Kato, was ordered to pair with Tsunade to merge the Yamanaka yin control with the Senju yin vitality. And then their union create Minato, Namikaze. Because there is no explanation on who his parents are, and there's a vaguely similarity between Dan and Tsunade. When you merge them together and you get sort of Minato. And as a writer myself, I know that when names are used, they're used for a purpose, and sometimes it's foreshadowing. Like Naruto refers to Tsunade as Granny. So, anyways, Minato is Dan and Tsunade's child, the first natural balance of the yin and yang chakra. Hiruzen, seeing a living, breathing success of Tobirama's dream, keeps Minato under wraps, and under the watch, the Anbu's careful eye, Dan conveniently is killed on the battlefield. Tsunade disappears for no apparent reason, and Minato grows just exactly as planned. And while official scientists follow orders, let's say one couple goes too far. They supply some Osusuki of Hagurama's cells with Tobirama's samples, creating a child beyond human, Kyuin Orochimaru. So what I'm saying is Tsunade, Jiraiya, and Orochimaru are science experiments, and Orochimaru is an unauthorized science experiment used with Osusuki's cells. Because if you look at him, if you look at how little evidence we have of any of their parents, something is a little off about that. We know that Tsunade is Hashirama's grandchild, but there's no evidence of who her parents are. We know that as a child, Orochimaru had parents, but we don't know any information about these people. And there's little to no evidence about Jiraiya'S parents. And it's really peculiar that a character be written in with no back information like that. And they're important characters. They're not side characters. They're not like Sakura's parents, who are just people that we don't really care about their origin story. It's not like Choji or something like that. The characters themselves might be important, but they're not the legendary Sunny. They're not Team 7. So I just find it very interesting that we don't have any information. There's none I searched. There is no information on them whatsoever. On Tsunade's parents, Jiraiya's parents, or Orochimaru's parents, or anything. So that's when my brain starts crunching and making up stuff, because that's what I do. Anyways, so back to it. Let's just say that after Orochimaru was created by an unauthorized experiment, that's when the council finds out and then have the parents executed. The child lived and later uncovers the real truth of what happened. His forbidden research is just to continue the legacy of what his parents left behind. The way that Orochimaru is so obsessed with reincarnation or living forever, it comes from somewhere, of course. That's my personal opinion. But anyways, so every generation of the Senju pulled another clan into their net. Hashirama got Mito Uzumaki, Tsunade and Dan. Dan comes from the Yamanaka branch, another strong clan. Minato and Kushina, another Uzumaki. Then Naruto and Hinata, Uzumaki and Hyuga. And then the rumored future of Boruto and Sarada. Now they're finally getting the Uchiha clan under their belt. Now it's finally the Senju, Uzumaki, Uchiha completing the genetic circle. Is that a coincidence? Or is that centuries of design? Maybe the prophecy of the child of destiny was never spiritual, but actually scientific. Maybe Konoha's real power isn't in will, but in blood engineering. Project Genesis wasn't just created, didn't end, it just succeeded. And that's the dark truth, or that's my dark theory of Konoha's bloodline. Do you think that destiny was written by prophecy or Tobirama's scalpel? Anyways, if you made it this far, hit the like button, drop your own Naruto conspiracies down in the comments, and don't forget, keep cultivating that multi-passionate mind. Love y'all. Bye.